This tutorial is going to go through 7 passes of corrections. I'm supplying the base tune, I'm supplying the ending tune, and all the logs in between. This is a great tutorial for you to complete on your own. Download the example folder I'm going to put up on my SharePoint. That way you could go through with example logs and example tune and see if you end up at the same spot I ended up. If you do, then I'd say you're good to go to make your first corrections on your bike with confidence. So go ahead and copy over the folder, the example folder I'm going to supply on my SharePoint. Open up the base folder right here and open up EV base. This is just a stock STK file that I've converted to a DJT tune so you can work with it with logs. So you have prepared your first tune. This is the tune. You take this EV_base, flash it on your bike into your ECU and go out and ride and take some logs. You come back, you copy those logs from your PV3 or PVCX over into your base folder, and here they are. Well, here it is. Be sure to set up your axis for the particular calibration this is based off of. Not necessarily yours, but you just have to do this once. And I would go ahead and save it so you have that layout. But if you close PowerCore and reopen it, these labels will be saved. These data channels will be saved, set up as per the last time you opened PowerCore. Okay, let's go back. Let's load in the VE IPW narrowband equation I've supplied. Once you do that, it's in TuneLab and you don't have to continue to reload this equation unless you change it to another equation. Anyway, make sure your show plot is off and hit hit run for the corrections. It's going to operate off the open log files in the data center. You can see this is a very small operating range we're dealing with because I have not expanded the target AFR. Now be sure your compare is open saved. It should be identical at this point because stock value is what we started with, but make sure you're on the open save so you can see what changes it's making. Okay, it's made the changes. Yes, save this as pass 1. We're going to go ahead and create a new folder. I already have it made already, so we won't be doing that. Come down here and say V1. Be sure to change the tune notes to represent your first pass. We've corrected our VE table and we've corrected our IPW Comp tables. If you want to compare it, go ahead and open up your base. Right click on your newest one and compare it to the EV base or your last tune. You can see we've made changes to both those tables, and some changes that are pretty significant right here. This bike had a lot of fuel coming in on the lower RPMs. But in any case, let's go ahead and close those. Take this, copy it over your PV3, PVCX, flash it to your bike, go out and ride. Also, I've expanded the target AFR on this tune. I'm not going to show you, but that's what the data will show when we come in with the data logs. So you've collected your data, you've copied the logs over to your pass 1 directory. Be sure to erase those logs off of your flash device. You don't want to be taking up a lot of valuable space on logs with logs. And go ahead and run the TuneLab again. A lot more data this time. Could be better, but it's pretty good. Okay. Let's save this as V2. Version 2. Pass 2. You could again compare this to any tune you want, but compare it to V1, see what progress you're making. Select your V2, right click and compare. Made pretty substantial changes on your IPW Comp table, so you're balancing out the cylinder fuel balance nicely. And you're taking advantage of any changes you made in the VE table, so you don't kind of chase your tail on that. Made significant changes here and here. In any case, I'm not going to extrapolate between these tables. We just want to practice taking data and making corrections. You don't have to extrapolate, it just makes it go a little bit faster. Anyway, take this EV_2, flash it over to your device, copy over your device and flash it into your ECU, go out and ride. Close the old logs down. You've copied these over to your Pass 2 folder. And there you go. Okay, let's load in that one. Run them. And one thing I have not been showing you, but you will on yours, because this tutorial will not have the STK files in it. This one does because I've run through it. Let's get rid of them. You certainly will not have them. Okay, so we're going to accept that correction. Just a little bit of housekeeping on my part. So go ahead and save this into folder of name Pass 3. This is one you will create if you're doing this for your bike. Version 2, version 3, Pass 3. And save. It's going to ask you if you want to save an STK file. Definitely save an STK file. You'll need that if you ever go back to do some comparisons, or if you just want to open that tune. So we're going to look at the last tune. Compare. It's coming along pretty nice. Coming along here, got some big changes here. Anyway, I made a mistake on this one when I saved it. I need to no, I'm not used to this keyboard. There we go. Just go ahead and save that again. Load this to your bike, go out, take some logs, go ahead and close this, copy those logs over to your newly created Pass 3 folder, and load the logs. Come back, run, correct the VE table in your front and rear. IPW Comp tables. I'm not going to compare this one. You would in your real world for the sake of getting through this video. I'm just going to plow through it. This is version 4. But please get comfortable comparing and checking your tune out so you know what's going on. You definitely want to save the STK file. It will already have a copy of the SDK file. Just put it in there. Go out, flash that to your bike, repeat the cycle. Try to hit the areas that you show lacking on your VE table. This log's doing pretty good. If you look at your VE table, could get some here, but you know, this person's up to 90 kPa. That's pretty high loads. If you have a stage 1 or a stock bike, you're not going to get above 75 probably. So don't even try to get up into this area. Your bike, our Indians are torque producing I systems, or fuel injection systems, in control. It will not get up into this area on a stock or stage 1 bike. This takes a stage 3 or a highly cammed bike to get up into the 90s here. Just not going to do it. And 104 is really hard to get up there. You got to have some horsepower to get up there. In any case, go and flash this to your bike. Save them over into oh, I got to save that. Huh? Let's save this as EV5. I've repeated this recording once before, so I'm kind of frustrated that recording did not take, and I'm having to redo this, so apologize for the mistakes there. But this was EV5, the 5th pass. Flash that to your bike. Copy them over to the pass 5 folder. Come back here, run your Tune Lab. Again, I'm not going to compare yet. Save it as the 6th. And this is pass 6. If you get confused, just start over. Erase the tunes you've done. Keep the logs. Keep your base. Just start over. If you're out there in the real world tuning your bike and you get all confused, just go back to your last known good tune, erase everything else. Just start from that point. Nothing lost. Okay, flash that. Go out to your data pass. Put all those logs. Notice this person took 5. Again, you could take as many logs as you want, as much logs as the PV3 or PVCX can hold. Load it on up. It's a case where more data is always good if it's varying data. Of course, if you're just going to record cruising speed all day long, that's totally worthless. But good varying load, varying RPM is the goal. And this is where we're going to see if you have ended up at the same place I end up, since I supply my finished tune. Let's go ahead and see. Save this as EV7. EV7. Save. Open up my example. Let's see how they compare. Perfect. They came out exact. Now, if you come out with some slight variations in the VE table, I mean slight, I'm talking about like 0.01%, 0.01, and you want to know why that did that, most likely it's because you did not set your options as discussed. But power core, when you first load it, defaults to inches of mercury. I don't like that. I like kilopascals. That's what I grew accustomed to dyno tuning, so make sure that you have that selected. And all the other areas that we talked about when we set up power core. There's a video on that and discussion on that, so be sure to do that. Okay, so this concludes the tutorial. If your version 7 equals Craig's example version 7, kudos. You know how to run the equations. You know how to pull in the logs. So just go out, prepare your tune based on your STK or a starting base tune that I or Dynajet or Fuelmoto has supplied. Fuelmoto's locked, so you won't be able to unlock theirs, but Dynajet you could unlock if you ask them nicely. Ask me and I'll send you mine unlocked, as long as you aren't going to use it for commercial purposes. I'm more than happy to do that. And of course you assume all responsibility and liability for it. In any case, that concludes this